Okay, let's talk about Jahdae Barron, the Denver Broncos' first-round pick. Of course, Barron was not the player that a lot of fans and media expected the Denver Broncos to go after. They expected the Broncos to go after a running back, but ultimately they elected to pass on both Omarion Hampton and Travion Henderson in the first round, and they went with Jahdae Barron, who they said was the best player on the board. But what is Barron bringing to the Denver Broncos? Let's go ahead and take a look at some film, and then we'll discuss that. So we're going to start off with this play, and we've actually got some college football all-22 to work with for this film study, which is really, really cool. So, Jahdae Barron, here he is going to be lined up right here, and this play is just going to display a high IQ as well as good hand-eye coordination. So, you're going to see that Carson Beck is trying to throw just a little slant route right here, and at this point in time, Barron might be in a little bit of trouble because they're trying to run a pick play where the block right here washes out this DB, and Barron is kind of lost in the trash where he has to come all the way around this DB essentially, or come underneath here. His pathways are kind of choked off by this pick play. They're just trying to run this little slant underneath it, but this is a really great job by Barron seeing it. And yes, that's a high throw there by Carson Beck, but good hand-eye coordination by Jahdae Barron being able to come in and pick this thing off. That is just an excellent job. Again, he knew that was coming, able to fight through the pick and take advantage of the high throw right there. That was a really, really good rep from Jahdae Barron. Just being able to see the bad throw coming, fight through the pick route, and still be able to make the play. Really, really good stuff right here from Jahdae Barron. Nice. So on this one here, sorry for it being cut off, it'll come back into frame in just 1 second. Barron is going to be playing off coverage with his back to the sideline on this play. He's going to be guarding against just a straight go route down the sideline, and this is going to be a really excellent rep right here from Jahdae Barron. There we go, it comes into frame. See how he bumps the receiver right there and then just sort of forces him out of bounds? That's exactly what you're taught to do. Use the sideline as your help. And notice how he initially has his back to the sideline, so he's going to have to flip his hips mid-rep as the receiver gets to him, which he does right there. He initiates that little subtle contact just enough so where the refs don't see it, and he reroutes the receiver out of bounds. This is an excellent, excellent rep here by Jahdae Barron. Love that. That's exactly what you're taught to do, and that shows that Barron has a high football IQ. Use the sideline as an extra defender. Use it as your help. And that's what he does right there, and he takes the receiver completely out of the play. Great rep by Barron. So this one here is just going to be another slant. Barron is going to be going up against the X receiver at the top of the screen, and just a really good job with off coverage, breaking on that slant and breaking it up. That is a phenomenal job. Great technique. Oh, wrong play right there. Great technique, being able to open up his hips right there and break on the ball. That is fantastic by Jahdae Barron. Keeps his eyes on the quarterback. Break in, break up the pass. Love it. And this is what Barron does really, really well, and what will translate really, really well to the NFL level. So on this one here, we've got a third down pick by Jahdae Barron. He's going to be sitting right at the sticks on third down, and Georgia is just going to be trying to run this little stop route here with this X receiver, and it's not going to work out too well trying to test Barron on this one. You can see that the receiver kind of runs into him. It's really the receiver that initiates the contact more than Barron, and Barron's able to fight through that contact, and as the ball's gone, you can tell already that Barron's going to break on it and he's going to pick it off. And he sure does, man. And he returns it all the way down the sideline. Just got to pause it for a second just so this video doesn't get copyright claimed. Thank you, SEC. But that is absolutely fantastic right there. That is just great ball skills by Barron. Again, he kind of actually initiates the contact a little bit, but it's so subtle. It looks like him and the receiver are hand fighting that's not going to get called for defensive pass interference. And that is a really, really good job by Barron, breaking on it, reading it, and picking it off. Good stuff right there. So on this one here, got a little number 7 on number 7 crime. Barron with outside leverage here on the tight end. But you're going to see that he does a really good job fighting through that little stiff arm and then undercutting and tipping it for the PBU. His teammate should have helped him out right there and gotten the interception. But really great job right there from Barron, fighting through that little subtle stiff arm and still being able to undercut. Nice stuff right there, man. Again, this dude has ball skills. He's got a high IQ, and this play shows it right here. Great play. At least for me, one of the biggest selling points on Jahdae Barron coming out of the draft is his ability to tackle. And on this play, Georgia's just going to be running a little bubble screen here to the wide receiver, and Jahdae Barron shows an excellent knack for tracking the ball and making the tackle. And you'll see that the receiver right there is trying to block him. He's trying to set up this to where the receiver here can just come underneath and hopefully have some yards to run, but Barron is not going to let that happen. It's almost like he used the hit stick on Madden right there. Kind of crazy, actually. Like, it seriously looked like he just used the Madden hit stick move. Anybody who plays defense on Madden has mastered this move. Just undercut him and chop the receiver down like a tree. That is such a good rep by Jahdae Barron, man. I swear to God, just being able to read that screen is coming all the way. And then boom, lay the hit stick. Absolutely love that. So that's what you're going to see from Barron a lot, is he's got a knack for laying the lumber and delivering these hit stick type moves right there. And he's going to make a lot of tackles for you. I wouldn't be surprised if he's towards the top of the team in tackles from the nickel position. Jaquan McMillan struggled with that. Jahdae Barron is an absolute stud at this. And this is just another one here where he's just going to have a really good knack for where the football is at all times. We're not going to see any more big runs sprung on our defense because this guy is going to do an excellent job of cleaning up these tackles on the second level. Jahdae Barron on this little toss play works his way through the trash and lays that little hit stick move once again, man. That is such a good job by him. Again, just working through all that traffic. Boom! Laying the lumber. Anytime that you have a corner or a nickel or a DB willing to participate in the run game like this and make these kind of tackles, that is what makes them worthy of spending a first-round pick on them, in my opinion, is to be able to just make plays like this, bro. Again, this is just a phenomenal job finding the football and making the play. And at the end of the day, that's really how simple this game is, man. You just got to be aware of where the ball is at all times and not be afraid to lay the lumber. Love it. Good shoulder tackle technique as well by him. I couldn't not put this rep in this film study because this is probably one of my favorite reps from Jahdae Barron. So you're going to see here that he starts off with outside leverage to the receiver, meaning that he's lined up to the outside shoulder of the wide receiver here. And you're going to see a really, really great job of just staying with the receiver the whole way, not letting him jam out. Like, the receiver's trying to fight through this contact here. He's trying to get out of this jam. But Barron stays with him the whole way. And anytime the receiver tries to flip his hips or tries to open back up, Barron's with him stride for stride. It's like he almost knew what route this receiver was going to run and stays with him the whole way. And even when the receiver breaks out to the corner right there, Barron is still able to throw him off just enough where the ball sails over his head because he's not in the spot where he needs to be. Yes, it's also a slide overthrow, but that is a fantastic job by Barron rerouting this receiver and again, just kind of taking him out of the play. Like, look at that, dude. That is such a good job right there by Jahdae Barron. I couldn't not include that rep in this film study. And then this last play right here is just another phenomenal high football IQ play from Jahdae Barron. He is not going to bite on double moves. That is very apparent. The receiver here for Florida is just going to try to run a little out and up type of play. And Barron is not going to bite on it. See him flip his hips right there and stays with the receiver the whole way and completely takes away that out and up move. So you're not going to see him get fooled on double moves very often here, which is very, very good. So you're going to see Barron, again, very high IQ player, not make foolish mistakes like biting on an out and up move. I've seen Riley Moss get burnt on this kind of route before. Not going to see that with Barron if he plays on the boundary. And again, you're not going to see him get fooled with double move stuff either on the inside at nickel. So this is just another play that tells me that Barron has good instincts, and he's a high football IQ player. So in conclusion, the Denver Broncos are getting a very high football IQ player. You listen to his press conference, you listen to the interviews that he's done with local media. It's very clear that he is not only a high football IQ guy, but he is also a high character dude who really is going to bring a lot of positive things to this locker room, both on and off the field, from a football perspective as well as a leadership perspective. He's got excellent technique, excellent ball skills, and you can tell that this dude has potential to be a defensive captain in the secondary alongside Pat Surtain. Pat Surtain, Riley Moss, and now Jahdae Barron at nickel. The Denver Broncos are primed to have one of the best secondaries in the NFL. And then you've got Brandon Jones and Talanoa Hufanga at safety. You've got guys like J.L. Skinner that you can bring in dime situations. You've still got Jaquan McMillan on the roster. This is such a positive addition to the roster that even if you aren't happy that the Denver Broncos didn't take a running back in the first round, you should look at the film and know by now that the Denver Broncos have gotten a really good player here in Jahdae Barron. Alright guys, after having a chance to see some film, what do you guys feel about Jahdae Barron as a player? How do you think he is going to fit in this locker room? And do you think that the Denver Broncos made the right decision taking him? Drop those comments down below, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts as always. Be sure to leave a like on this video as well, subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. I would really appreciate it, guys. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. And until next time, guys, I'm your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.